they could have done with some of that marketing towards children. But I think they're going in totally the opposite direction here, you know, almost like superheroes. Like you said, when they got onto the turn-ups to the TV, ITV, and they're dressed up as wrestlers, that only appeals to like children when they look at them thinking that they're some sort of superhero. It's much better to present them more seriously. I remember like when Charlotte was on there doing her interview, she conducted herself very professionally, like a champion, explained the situation and just how important wrestling is and what it means to her. Got her over greatly. I think it shouldn't be taken as a joke. So, you know, maybe that's just me and you know, put off by that. But I think we take it a bit more seriously than that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was sort of all the UK tie-ups. Just some end news here to sort of finish up with the podcast. We got a Hulk Hogan, Matt, he says he's close to coming back quite quickly, he says, for a return. He's certainly been putting a lot of stuff out recently, hasn't he? He certainly does want to get it back, there's no doubt about it. Is it just a case of when, Matt?
I guess it is just a case of when now. Like when we saw the Velveteen Dream wearing the Hulkamaniac stuff and doing the poses, gauging the reaction, no one was booing him. So, you know, maybe everyone's past that point now. Maybe everyone's ready for Hogan. It definitely seems like, you know, people have looked at him and thought, you know, let's forgive and forget. He is synonymous with the WWE and wrestling as a whole. You can't erase him from history. And, you know, make the most of him while you can, because one day he won't be with us, and that will be a sad day, and everyone will acknowledge his contribution to wrestling then. So let's just enjoy Hogan while he's here.
Absolutely. Now, folks, before I go, some great news for everybody that has been. Finally, I can give you the great news is that we've finally got some T-shirts in. They arrived actually yesterday morning and today. I had 2 lots delivered. They're really good, and I know everybody's been asking when can we get them, where can we get them from. Literally, there'll be a way you can get them from the shop. You can buy them, go through the channel. We'll give you all the details through the podcast itself. So anybody that's subscribed, in the description stuff and then the shop part of it, you'll see that come up automatically and where to go and purchase them. I'm not going to give too much away about what they look like just yet. I will be uploading what they're going to be looking like in the next week. But what I can say is there's definitely a bit of British Bulldog involved in this. And Matt also definitely featured very well on this. He comes some great slogans. But we decided to go... I liked quite a lot of them. So we ended up doing like a variation of different ones. So they're WrestleLine tops, but they got some different quotes on it, and you know, for some people that listen to the podcast a long while, they'll make perfect sense as to why we picked them. But they're cool looking T-shirts. They're not anything cheapy looking or anything like that. We've actually gone out and got some proper ones. That's why it's taken quite a long time. But yeah, it's going to be really cool to get them out there, and of course, you know, always be very grateful for anybody that does that, because it helps us out, and you know, shows your great support to the podcast. Just gives us a little bit more as well. So yeah, really excited to bring you that. Plus we're going to be soon giving out the Magnificent 7 on title belts as well. That's going to be coming out very shortly. We're still doing No Holds Barred. Do not panic, that is still coming. Can't wait to get round to that either. Plus, when we get into the WWE August, we're going to be going back to SummerSlam. Of course, we're going to revisit NXT, which I'm really looking forward to. Well, maybe I'm not. I might be crying by the end of it when I see everything was so good at the time for some of these potential hopes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going back to revisit where myself and Matt experienced quite a very decent night at NXT. Something that will always stay in my memory, that's for sure. So yeah, Matt, other than that, have you got anything coming up yourself, like wrestling wise, that you're going to be getting into? Is there any? Did you say you still got to watch the New Japan show from Okada?
Yeah, still got to do that. I mean, I feel bad that I haven't got round to that, but you know, like we said many times, wrestling is such an investment now in WWE. Like in particular, you've got to keep up with so much every week. with that. But yeah, that'll be fun once I get around to that. And then, of course, in August, there's WWE Live rolling around.
Oh, yes, of course, and
we've got Progress in September. And then WWE rolls around again in November. So there's still enough live action in the local area to keep me busy.
Yeah, absolutely. And all that and more. One thing I will say about the UK show, I've never been to a show, Matt, where the fans at one point all took their shoes off. Look out for that on the second night. There's a little heads up for everybody. That was kind of a crazy thing. There's quite a few crazy chants, shall we say, as well. I'm not sure how much that will all go out when it gets all edited, but that'll be quite interesting to see what the result of that. And also, I'm interested to see, Matt, what the WWE do with the camera. You know, how they're going to actually present it. I've heard lots of different ways that they've been in, what they're showing and what they're not showing. So it should be interesting to talk about in our next podcast, no doubt about that. Of course, the other emails I've been getting in, should mention it, everybody seems to enjoy it from around the world. The World Cup is basically on, as we're doing this podcast, everybody seems to be up on it. Everybody's been asking me, like, do I like football? Am I into the World Cup? Yes, I am into football. So is Matt. We both support our club team in England of Tottenham. But, you know, I can't say, I've got to say, it might sound very unpatriotic, but I'm not a massive fan for those England games. It's only purely down to the disappointments I have all the time I go for them. But nowadays, of course, most of the Spurs players are playing for them, so it gives me a little bit more to cheer for, I guess. But yeah, the World Cup is currently on, obviously going on from Russia, and I know that WWE got a little bit involved with it. Matt, any games you've been watching lately with that? People have been asking if we've been watching them all the time.
Yeah, I've been keeping up to date with it every day. A bit disappointed that most of the time when I put a bet on, it doesn't pan out. I'm like, oh, just give up, shall I? I'm not doing well on that front. I
can imagine that Croatia game probably hit you quite hard.
Yeah,
I will.
Work with that one.
Yeah, incredibly. That's what I was going to mention. We got fans that listen to us from Panama, and of course England play Panama tomorrow, actually. Depending when you're listening to this podcast, but on Sunday, and you know what an amazing feat that is, Matt. Panama with the vice president and all the rest of it. I mean, amazing. But yeah, we still have listeners. I want to thank all those people that listen to us every single week. I always see you guys flip up from different areas in Panama, and just goes to show you how the world of podcasts can have so much reach. But yeah, thank you always for your support. But you know, you're the underdogs. I mean, listen, I wouldn't hold it against you if you beat us. Let's put it that way. I won't be too upset. It'll be another embarrassment for England, won't it? So yeah, we'll see with that one. Okay, folks, we'll enjoy the rest of that, and we'll be back soon with another regular show. Matt, thank you as always for coming on.
No, more than happy to be here. It's always fun doing the podcast with you.
Cool. So until next time, folks, have a good week.